Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to another Stocks by Request where we talk about the top stocks that you guys requested via social media. So for this video, I want to talk about BDO, Metrobank, Gtcap, Converge, Megaworld, Allhc, and also Acen. Just to give you an update also on what happened on the index went up a bit slightly, of up 41.09 points, up 0.059%. Value turnover has been interesting still, 9.69 billion pesos, which is uh stronger than where we were a couple of months ago. As you all know, value turnover volume, the larger the amount of people entering the market, the larger amount of people positioning, the more conviction the moves have. And please do note also, out of the 9.69 billion, why I'm also tackling BDO is mainly because BDO had 1.5 billion, which if you try to get it, no, it's almost around 50% of the total volume of the markets. And the closest one in terms of value turnover was Ayala Land. Ayala Land was 493. So the value turnover of BDO was times three the value turnover of Ayala Land. So a lot of interesting stuff today for those who were asking about Mary Mart and for those who were asking uh, about DMC and other stocks. You can just reference the previous video that we posted over the past few days. So, by the way, I also want to talk about Jollibee, included on top of the other stocks that you guys requested as well. So, before I begin and before I tackle this and I discuss the index also, please do note that these are not stock picks, these are not stock tips. If you're new to this channel, the whole goal of this channel is for you to have the right information that you get to decide based on the proper rudiments of technical analysis. Never, ever, ever buy a stock just because it's talked about, discussed in YouTube. It's your money, it's your responsibility. Use whatever resources that you have from traditional media, social media, YouTube, your friend as references. But ultimately, you have to make the right decision that will work and will fit for you regardless of how busy you are. You need to take the time to study, because I'll say this over and over and over: no one will work harder for your money than you. That's why it has to be you who has to study it and deploy enough attention for you to be able to grow more on investing in the markets. So let's continue and let's begin. And I'll start first with BDO. And as what I've mentioned, BDO closed at 95.30 pesos per share, up 2.92%, with a value turnover of 1.5 billion pesos. So for BDO, let's just look at it right off the bat. If you'll see it very, very well, it's still well way inside the range that I posted. So if you'll allow me to zoom in right here, you will see it right there that we still have a resistance at the 97.5 level, and the main support is still at the 84.7 level. So for the past, since June 2020, at least the end of June, we've seen BDO move at this range. So the advantage of that is, for quick traders, you can just trade the 84.7 to around 97.6 range. For those who really believe in the long-term fundamentals of BDO, you could have used this time where it was consolidating. And if you check it out, no, it hit the 84.7 level a couple of times. One here, March, at one of the strongest drops that we had. Then it revisited it again in June. Please do note the large surge that happened here was during the announcement of the uh, GCQ for Metro Manila. Then it started to correct back again. So after this, no, after hitting this main resistance at 113, we have not seen it push that level again. So since the end of June, it's just basically consolidating in this range, which, again, I'll say this over and over: if you have extra money, you're a long-term investor, that's a good accumulation range. And what's so interesting about that is, uh, at the end of the day, BDO is still one of the largest banks. They have one of the biggest asset bases in the Philippines. And what's so interesting about that is, if you notice the composition of the index, and I was talking to this with a couple of friends, a large chunk of the index is basically AC, Ali, SM Prime, SM, and BDO. Significantly, SM has hit its all-time, at least close to its all-time high. SM Prime has gone up significantly. Ali has gone up, but not near its all-time high. AC has also massively gone up. It's only BDO, which is also, I think, dragged down by the entire banking sector, which has lagged compared to other sectors that we have in the Philippines. But since it has lagged, or at least since that sector has lagged, when when you see a rotation still, because at the end of the day, foreigners, funds, institutions will buy uh, the same stocks that they've bought previously, and I really believe BDO up until now, in the midst of the pandemic, is still a fundamentally sound company. So please do take note of these resistances. You have a resistance at the 97.8 level, then another resistance at the 114 peso level, then another one at the 135 level, then another one at the 158.7 level. And please do note here that the 200-day moving average is still relatively bearish. For if you've seen the videos that I created looking at reversals, this is one very distinct and one very interesting area to look at, to show you and at least give you a confirmation that we are seeing a reversal on the stock. So that's where we are for BDO. Up until now, it's still relatively sideways, consolidating, and it hasn't really pushed up higher. Comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you and giving you insight, because at the end of the day, the whole goal of this channel is to give you as much information and detail as possible so you can trade the markets with confidence. Now, looking at GTCap, what's interesting for GTCap is a majority of our price and momentum indicators are bullish. Money's coming in. It has fully reversed. And if you look at it here, it broke past even the 200-day moving average. What's so interesting about that is it broke out from the 528 resistance level. And if you'll try to compare it with BDO, it has not broken out from its immediate resistance, and it has not broken out from the 200-day moving average. But GT Capital, for this, it's so clear that it's above the 200-day moving average. It has broken out of all of the other shorter term moving averages. And while all of that is happening, money is supporting it and is coming in. So please do write this down. Current support level right now for GT Capital is 528. Next possible resistance is 655. Failure to hold the 528 level, again, it will just revisit, either go back to the 200-day moving average, which is around the 466 level, or revisit here around the 420 level, or will revisit and go back to the main support, which is at the 367 level. Or if it starts to continually break out and the 528 level reinforces itself, so we have our next possible resistance somewhere around the 655 level, and it could show you an upward move around this particular area. So if I'll show you also in terms of upside and downside, failure to hold the 528 support level will possibly bring GT Capital to a downside of 33.4%. And if it holds a 528 level short term, could bring it to around the 24.7% resistance, or at least that's the possible area where there could be selling that could possibly happen next. And a breakout from that level would bring it to around the 728 mark. So you can just put it right there. So by the way, for those who have questions, a couple of ways on how you can reach me: comment section. Number 2, Instagram, slide a DM. Number 3, our Patreon group. And number 4, uh, just we have a YouTube community, which I'll put the link in the description below, and just send them all. And there. I hope you guys are learning from all of this. Next, let's look at a subsidiary uh, of GTCap, which is Metrobank. And please do note this: GTCap, one of its biggest drivers of revenue is Metrobank and also Toyota. But please do note also that Toyota was also hit during the massive lockdowns that we had. But as we started to open already, sales have started at least to increase. Now we've seen more and more people starting to buy not just cars but vehicles as well. So Toyota, at the end of the day, is still one of the largest car manufacturers in the whole world, and also one of the largest has one of the largest market shares here in the Philippines. So Metrobank, side by side with BDO, short-term moving averages similar to BDO, bullish. Uh, it broke out from the 43 peso resistance level. The difference between Metrobank and BDO, Metrobank short term already, at least if you notice it, halos pareho siya. Hindi man halos pareho, but Metrobank naman difference niya, it has not broken out from the consolidation that started from March. For BDO, it has not broke out from the consolidation from late June. So right now for Metrobank, yung start ng support ng range na 32.72, which it revisited four times. The last time it revisited it, if you were able to position here, man, that was an amazing point to enter. Then the resistance was at 43.05, which it hit last April, it hit last June, then it tried to block it somewhere around October. Then successfully, just a couple of days ago, it was able to break out from that level. So please write this down right now. The new level of support that we have is 43. The next level of resistance that we have right now is at 55.9. So when the breakout started to happen, and it did something also different from BDO, that it broke past the 200-day moving average. When the breakout happened, money was moving in. Price and momentum oscillators also were supporting it. So please do note this. Breakout, or at least 43, reinforces itself as a legit level of support. A possible short-term upside, or at least for the next possible resistance, is at 20, gives you a 29.7% return. Next resistance is 55.83. Failure to hold this is around, will give you a possible downside already of 24.8% as well. So please do remember, it's very, very important if you are trading that you need to have areas where you are taking profits, and you also have areas where you are cutting losses, so that you know how to position, you know specific areas how you can escape and get out of the stock if it's not working for you anymore. So that's where we are right now. We've talked about BDO, Metrobank, and GT Capital. Comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you. By the way, for those who are asking about Premyo bonds, and for those who are asking about MP2, the comparison between them, we have a deep dive on my first channel. Yesterday we talked about Premyo bonds. Bakit sobrang baba ng interest rate? Then we also talked about we talked about kanina around 8 p.m. The difference between MP2 and Premio bonds, which is a better investment among the two relatively safer investments. And then lastly, yesterday or 2 days ago, for those who sent questions on, is insurance something that's worth looking into? I posted a video on that as well. Should stock investors, stock traders invest in insurance? They're on my first channel. I'll try to put the link in the description for those who want to know more about it. But here's the PSEI. It's so clear right now that the 7,136 resistance is currently trying to reinforce itself and block whatever price action that we are seeing. I repeat, the 7,136 resistance is currently trying to block what 7,149 resistance is currently trying to block whatever upside that the market is having. And it's so clear also, as foreigners started to move in, we saw money start to come in, and confirmed also via the charts. So what's interesting also is it's still forming this ascending triangle. It has broken out of all of those moving averages. The Bollinger Bands is confirming its bullish move. MAs are showing you also momentum upward, but everything it will be predicated on how it breaks past the 7155 resistance level. So I repeat, breakout from 7115 will merit that there's a possibility for the index to at least go to 7541, and the next possible resistance is at the 7894 level. Failure to break out from this particular resistance level may warrant another correction, which, if you look at it here now, the possibility of it correcting may cause it to go either around here at the 6522 level, or somewhere around here at the 6168 level. So I'll give you more updates on how the index will go and will progress, but rest assured that we're going to give you as much info as possible so you get to trade the markets with confidence. Now let's look at Converge. So Converge, no, it had a bit of price action today. What's so interesting though about it is it basically did this. This is your resistance. This is your support. This is your next possible resistance. So what Converge did today is it broke past the 15.26 resistance or range. Now, let's see over the next few days. Please do note now, stocks that are new to the market, newly IPO'd, doesn't have a lot of past prices yet. And our whole adage of technical analysis is past prices plotted into charts. The larger the past price history that we are watching, the more convincing, the more uh, at least reliable our readings for support and resistance. Now, what we saw today was basically this. We saw it a couple of days when it went into the IPO. It did not hold this range. It got blocked here. Then it got blocked here again. Then, if you fast forward to what happened today, for the first time ever since it went to an IPO, it started to break out this possible resistance area. Now, if the 15.26 support will reinforce itself as a support, possible movement for Converge right now is we could see it move and push here. If it fails to hold, then the downside, I believe, could probably be up until the 14.5 level to as low as here again to the 13.9 level. So those are the possible movements and narratives for CNVRG. Resistance 16.78, new support 15.26. Failure to hold 15.26, new support will be the 13.91 level. Now, let's look at Jollibee. For Jollibee, I'm just gonna breeze past this because we've talked about this several times. What happened right now? It's just being blocked by the 200 peso resistance level. It's quite clear right here that there's a resistance at the 200 peso mark, and that being said, failure to hold that level, it may challenge the 182 support. Uh, as of today, it has not hit that level yet. It's still closer to the 200 peso resistance level. If it breaks past 200, then please do note the resistances that we have, 213 and 232. Those are the next resistances if we see Jollibee start to break out of the 200 level and it successfully transitions as a level of support. Please do note, while all of this is happening, money's moving in, all of the other indicators that we're looking at are still showing more bullish confirmations. Now, I want to show you a LLHC, which is continually still on a breakout. What's so interesting about that? As of this point in time, there's still no reversal of trend. As of this point in time, also, what's so interesting is it broke past the 2.9 level resistance. Congratulations to those who position. I'm just happy for people who were able to spot this as well. Moving averages, money's coming in. It's in an uptrend. All of the moving averages are showing you more bullish momentum. So you just have to watch out for the 2.9 level. Let's see if it solidifies its area as a level of support. If it does, next possible area for it to visit is the 3.34 level. So please do write this down: 2.91 level of support, 3.34 level of resistance. Failure to hold the 2.9 level, then we may see a momentary correction. But the breakout happened with a large green candle breaking past a 2.91 level, with all indicators also showing you at least a more bullish undertone. And while it was happening, money was moving in for the stock as well. I want to talk about another sister company, Acen, Ayala Corp AC Energy. Similar to ALLHC, this stock also is moving into its larger bullish trend while it's happening. Even the shorter moving averages are confirming it. Candlesticks are also confirming its bullish move. You have four straight bullish candles, which right now, no, if I'll put the support here, you could possibly pin it around this level at the 3.92 level, which is reinforced by this and reinforced by this and also reinforced by this entire 20-day moving average in the uptrend line that I positioned. And while all of that is happening, money is moving in. Bollinger Bands also is confirming the bullishness of the stock that we're watching. So the name of the game also, if you're trying to follow the trend and you're trying to position based on the trend, is to wait for strategic reversals before you start to take profit on the stock. But if there's no take profit signal yet, the name of the game also is for you to deploy patience and not do anything and not to sell and not to give into emotion and just follow your plan even though you're making massive amounts of money already. So please do note this. this is the breakout here. You have a breakout here from the 20-day moving average. From that area, it's up 43%. Also, from this particular area, 2.8, it's up this much, around 60 plus percent as well. So the stock is breaking out and moving into an uptrend. So I guess that's it. If you have questions, slide them down below. For those who want to trade US markets, we have a link below for eToro, $50. You get to buy Amazon stock. And above and beyond Amazon stock, you have a virtual account where you get to trade without using any real money first, and you gain the confidence of using the real platform. For those who want to learn more about this, I have links below for my other YouTube videos about the basics of the stock market, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis. So you can just research them down below. And also, for those who want to learn by reading 5 books about the stock market, technicals, fundamentals, and basics, they're all available via Shopee. Link is in the description below. And I guess that's it. If you want to know more about this, visit my channels, like, share, subscribe. And if you got value from this, I would appreciate if you could do 3 things. Number one, hit the like button because it helps the YouTube algorithm show this video more. Put a comment just to support. If you want to say support, just say algo, or just say you learned a lot. What's the thing that you got from this? Put it in the comment section. And lastly, if you guys have Instagram, share it, Instagram stories, tag me. I'll retweet it, I'll reshare it, or you can put it in Twitter and Facebook as well. So that's it for now. Marvin Gurmo. I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.